What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we are here with Walter's World in Finland, checking out some traditional food from Finland. Now, I've seen the licorice. I had the licorice before from Sweden, at least, and I'm not a fan of that. Not, just being honest. But we're gonna see some very good food. Some full course meals and stuff like that. I feel like I did a video before and he was standing by this flower. That's a big flower. I need to see where this is at. But it's traditional food. I haven't ate, so I'm very hungry and I hope this looks good. So y'all hit that subscribe button. Let's check it out.
Travelers, Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're here in Turku, Finland, talking about what you should eat
when
you come here to Finland. And I know if you're traveling around the world, you probably haven't seen too many Finnish ravintolas or restaurants, because Finnish cuisine isn't known to be the most popular in the world. However, that doesn't mean there aren't some really great treats for you to have when you're here, okay? So we're gonna go through some of the best foods to have when you're here in Finland, and also let you know is how they eat here in Finland as well, so you can have a better time filling up on some of these fun snacks. And I think one thing you'll see, and you'll see it whether you're on the train coming from Helsinki to Turku, or you're gonna see it on the breakfast buffet at your hotel, are Karelian pies, or Karelian piragakka.
They're actually
good.
good.
I am totally butchering the name.
A rice pie? That potatoes in there? They actually look good. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was a baked potato.
Karelian piragakka, which of course I am totally butchering the name, but basically what it
tough.
is, it's like about the size of your hand, and it's like a rye dough bready crust kind of thing filled with like a rice pudding, and then I don't know how else to better explain this, but like a egg butter on top of it. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually fantastic because you get them warm. Oh, it's so good. But that's like a great snack, but also something you'll see for breakfast a lot of times at restaurants. But that's one of my favorite things. When I lived here, that was one of my survival snacks for breakfast every single day. Okay, now another thing you really have to have, and if you're here in Turku and you're just walking up and down the river, the Aue River, which is beautiful, or if you're on the Esplanade in Helsinki, sit at a cafe and have a korvapusti, which is a cinnamon roll. Honestly, Finland has the best cinnamon rolls in the world, hands down. Cinnabon can go drop off the side of the earth because here they're incredible. Whether you get,
I'm gonna have to be the judge of that because them cinnamons they be different. So this look good though. This look good. I like my cinnamon rolls. I like them very, very warm. I just like that melt in your mouth taste,
Get like a cheap one from a store or a fantastic one from a cafe or a bakery. But honestly, the cinnamon rolls are so good. When I told my son I was coming here, Liam's like, "Dad, you have to have a cinnamon roll for me." So Liam, I've had the cinnamon rolls for you, buddy. You're welcome. Okay, but that's something you really need to have.
Cinnamon rolls are different.
Is you can have that with coffee, because the Finns love their coffee, and you have great coffee when you're here. Strong coffee, so grab a coffee and a cinnamon roll and you'll be happy for a great snack, okay? Now, another thing you're really gonna like when you're here is actually rye bread.
Rye bread.
Yeah, I know, I'm totally butchering my Finnish. It's been so long since I lived here. I mean, it's been about 25 years since I lived here, so like my language skills are not so great. But honestly, the Finns love their bread, and you'll see that in the morning where people have tons of bread options at the hotel. And the thing is, a lot of times for dinner, Finns don't have big meals at home. At dinner, they might just have some bread and some butter on it or some cheese on it, but they have fantastic bread. But the best bread here is the rye bread. Have some of that when you're here. It is one.
I'm trying to think if I ever had rye bread.
Just because
I don't think I ever had rye bread. If I did, it may be when I worked at a restaurant. That's probably the only time. But that was years ago. I don't even remember the taste.
Some of the normal like homemade bread, you won't be disappointed. Now, when I told people I was coming to Finland, they're like, "Finland? Is that near Sweden?" And then they think, "Oh, IKEA meatballs." I'm like, look, Sweden has their Swedish meatballs, but Finland also does meatballs. Okay, and the meatballs here are fantastic. And what you're going to do is you have meatballs with mashed potatoes and then lingonberry jam on the side.
That looks good.
However you want to have it, but that is kind of like a staple kind of thing you'll see in restaurants, especially Finnish restaurants. Obviously, when you go
I could eat that.
Another staple you'll have is salmon, and I'm talking salmon in any kind of way you can have. You can have a salmon fillet. You can have a whole salmon. You can have salmon soup. I know when I went to school here, one of my favorite school lunches was salmon with little potatoes. It was.
I will eat this. I will eat this soup. It looks good. Then again, I haven't had salmon in It's been a long time because I don't eat it often. I probably only, matter of fact, I only probably had it like 2 or 3 times in my lifetime. I need to try some salmon.
Fantastic, and the fins and their
type of guy.
potatoes here, it's incredible.
Tilapia.
If you go to somebody's house, they'll make these little tiny potatoes, and they stab them, and they'll peel them like, phew, you're like, wait, where'd the skin go? Like, they're that good at it. It's hilarious, but you will have salmon, and more salmon when you're here if you can, because they do such a good job with it, and honestly, probably another thing you want to have, and one thing that really changed for me when I lived here in Finland, was my love of mushrooms. When I came to Finland, I hated mushrooms. I didn't want mushrooms on anything. But here in Finland, they love nature. They go out and hiking, and they go mushroom hunting, and they find fantastic mushrooms to put in all kinds of stuff.
I'm not a mushroom fan.
So if you see something on the menu that has mushrooms on it, or a mushroom sauce, oh my God, you've got to have it. Mushroom soup, oh, so good.
I'm not a fan of mushrooms. I get this burrito at this Mexican restaurant. It comes with, like beef and mushrooms, but they don't put in so much mushrooms more than the beef that the mushroom, it had like a certain texture. I thought it was the meat. I thought it was beef, to be honest, but it just had like a certain texture that I was like, oh, this is not meat. I don't know. I could eat mushrooms, but I don't refer to eat it often.
Okay, so definitely have some mushrooms with anything when you're here. Now, the favorite candy for people here in Finland, and the one reason most tourists run away screaming from this country, is called salmiakki. And salmiakki is basically black licorice candy, and you can get it in all kinds of forms.
I just got
chills. Have the hard candy, like the original, like hard candy version. Which is just evil, okay? And then you can have like the licorice kind, but it'll come in like an ice cream, salmiakki ice cream. Yes, black licorice ice cream. Hell does exist, my friend. That's why the Helsinki airport is HEL. I think it's because the salmiakki ice cream.
God.
That was like the thing where it said, no, this one deserves to be hell. All right, but salmiakki, if you like black licorice, like salty black licorice, it's for you. And you'll see it in other things aside from candy. Actually, they'll sometimes, if you're at somebody's house, they might melt down some of the hard ones and mix it with some koskenkorva, so for a salmiakki kostu or a salmiakki koskenkorva. And you can't always get salmiakki koskenkorva, so you might see salmari at bars where that's the black licorice shot. You can have a shot of liquor. There's also one that's like a little bit creamier version of that's not as black licorice, that's doable, but just know that salmiakki.
I'm gonna need 200 euros to do that.
It's a thing here. If you want to make your Finnish friends happy when you go visit them, bring them some salmiakki as a gift. You go to their house. Okay?
Ice cream too.
Yeah, they love it here.
That may be
really
good.
Horrible. And then there's another thing, the Turkish pepper. It's not actually from Finland, but it's another candy that's really popular.
I've had this. I had these. I think this was the candy I had first. From Sweden, the Turkish pepper, or I may have gotten it from got Peter sent it from the Netherlands. One of those two places. I couldn't, guys. I couldn't. It was, oh my God. And these are hot and sour. These may be good. Hot and sour, but I had the salty one. I'm getting flashbacks back here.
That's another one that foreigners tend not to like when they come visit, but it's weird because there's actually so many candy stores here, because you have Phaser candy, which is from here, and that is some fantastic, if you like gummies, if you like chocolate, oh my God, Finland has such good candies. When you're here, it's kind of surprising how like healthy and in shape the people are, looking at all the candies they actually do have, but that is one thing.
Not too
Go to one of the candy shops when you're here, and believe me, you will see the candy shops. There's candy shops, plenty of them out there to go get some, so you have some stuff. Now, let's get away from getting ourselves cavities to getting ourselves full. Another thing you might see is reindeer. Yes, reindeer. They're not Santa's reindeer. No. They're safe up in Rovaniemi in the north, not the North Pole, because Santa Claus is the northern Finland, not the North Pole. Very different. Okay, but reindeer is something you can have, and sometimes it'll be in meatballs. Sometimes it'll be like, how do I say, like a stewed reindeer kind. It's actually pretty good, so you can have that. There are also a lot of soups you can have, because it's cold here a lot of the year. Okay, so those soups are really hard and they fill you up. And there's lots of different soups you can have. Like I said, mushroom soup, salmon soup, pea soup, sausage soup, mincemeat soup. There's just a lot of different soups you can have when you are here, and they do really help out, and it makes a good starter. And if you're looking to kind of lower your budget, going with the soup and the bread, just like a starter kind of thing for your meal, can actually save you a lot of money, and the soups do fill you up. Now, remember when I told you about that cinnamon roll you need to have? Well, if you're going to a cafe, another thing I think you should look for is blueberry pie, or just any kind of berry pie. And I'm going to tell you, don't think of it like in the American, apple pie mode. Think of it more of as not a crumble, but more like a dense,
That looks wonderful.
cakey kind of thing. But you'll have those berry pies, those blueberry pie kind of cake pie things.
I need
I
that.
don't know what the exact technical word is. It's not a tart, it's not a torte, it's not a pie, it's not a cake, but they call it pie here. But the blueberry pie, the berry pies, it's really nice.
That
The
look
thing is,
good.
a lot of the berries are coming from here in Finland. Another thing you have to realize is the Finns really love nature. They love organic stuff, and so you do have a lot of organic options. You do have a lot of vegetarian and vegan options when you are here, which is really nice.
salad.
And the thing is when you're eating, you'll see different things that are out there, and a lot of traditional foods sometimes don't show up on menus. You might want to have it at somebody's house, or it might be kind of like a starter or an appetizer kind of thing. So you really need to look through the menu at different places. So, for example, you have, the bread cheese that's here. It's kind of like this kind of, how do I say, it's like a fresh cheese kind of thing you can have. That's really nice. The thing is when you're eating here in Finland, it is one of those things that the locals, they like their organic, they like from Finland and nature, but actually they like international cuisine. Okay, so when you're here, you'll notice that your friends will ask you, oh, do you want to get sushi? Do you want to go Indian food? Do you want to go get some Thai food? They won't say you want to go get some Finnish food. They very much like to go and have international fairs.
And it looks like they got a wide variety. That looked good.
So if you want to have something
Actually looked
non-Finnish,
good.
you will have plenty of opportunities here. Whether you're here in Turku or Helsinki or Salo or Tampere or Rovaniemi, there's plenty of options out there. And if you've got your kids here, they have kids menus a lot of times too. But it's one of those things that you have a lot of options, which is nice as a traveler, because sometimes when you're having the local food, 3 weeks in a row, you get a little tired of it, and you can have some international fare when you're here. And for my fast food loving friends, and it's not just Americans, because people go to eat fast food all over the world, Finland has its own version of McDonald's, and that's Hesburger, which is 1,000 times better than McDonald's. Oh my God, it's an insult to Hesburger to compare it to them. But if you go there, they have the Kerroshamperlainen, which is like their version of a Big Mac, but it is fantastic. And what's great at Hesburger is they have their own mayonnaises. I always get the paprika mayonnaise, which is the pepper mayonnaise, which is like a little bit of spicy in it, but they have like all kinds of different ones you can try, but it's so good with the fries. But honestly, if you want a fast food thing, that's really good. Also, you'll notice there's a lot of kiosks that will sell like little fry-ups, like hot dogs or makuroperanut, which is like imagine having French fries and chopped up hot dog together, and they just fry it together, and they'll have that. So there's a lot of like drunk snacks late at night if you want to get some of those things, but they're also available during the day, so that's nice. One thing I will say is when you come out to Finland, you're eating in Finland. Finland is not a cheap place. Okay, it's some place like Helsinki is very expensive. Okay, if you're coming to Turku, it's
Yes, I seen that he put that in wording on the other one, which I kind of expect like capital cities to be expensive, more tourists and different things like that. Bigger place, so gotta be
easier.
expensive.
Like I actually
the
tell
food
people,
looks great.
look, I mean, the trains are actually pretty cheap here. You could, do a day trip to Helsinki from Turku because there's trains early in the morning to late in the evening, and you can save the money on the train ticket in your hotel. Okay, so something to kind of think about. But when you're looking at your meals, you can go to the supermarkets there's plenty of supermarkets here to grab foods. Look for arkioski if you're looking for like little snack stuff or maybe a sandwich or something and you don't want to spend a lot of money. They have a lot of like quick and to-go kind of foods, for you. Or you can get one of those cinnamon rolls there as well. You get coffee there too, and that's going to be cheaper than if you go to a cafe or a restaurant. So that could be some way to kind of help your budget when you're here. Another thing I would say is if you're looking at going out to eat, service, it's not bad. It's just not fast, and you don't tip. Okay, because they already get paid a nice wage, so there's no tipping here in Finland, so that's not like incentivizing people to like work faster or do anything. So have some patience when you're ordering your food and getting your menu, just because it takes a little bit longer. But the thing is, the service is professional, so if you're not sure what you want or if you have allergies, the thing is people here speak English really well. So if you have an allergies to some kind of flour and you want to make sure it's not in your food, you can ask them in English and they'll be pretty helpful with that. So that's really nice, and I really have found that here they were very accommodating when it comes to cuisine. Okay, so I hope this helps you know what to eat when you're here. I know I'm gonna go have myself a lovely cinnamon roll and enjoy the rest of my fine day here in Turku. And I'm gonna head actually over to the castle now and have a good time there. So I wish you all the best. Have a fun time eating here in Finland. If you want to learn more, maybe the don'ts of visiting Finland or the don'ts of visiting Turku, check us out on our website at waltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, all those places. And if you want to help us make these honest travel videos, go to patreon.com/waltersworld to find out how you can help support us. Thanks, and moi moi!
Moi moi. Nah, this was good. I like Walter's World, man. Yeah, definitely got to make sure y'all subscribe. It's going to have his link in the description. But food looked good. That first one, that rice, what was like almost like it was made out of rice. I forgot the name, the exact name for it, 'cause it was like a pretty long, yeah. The rice pot. It was, yeah. I can't pronounce that word. I'm looking at it right now. I can't pronounce that at all. But it looked good. Um, Everything looked good. Like I said, I haven't eaten salmon but once or twice in my life. I just thought about that. Like I said, I'm usually eating. I love fish. I love catfish. I love tilapia. I've eaten cod before. I know how that tastes, but I prefer catfish, tilapia, and stuff like that. But this was good. Maybe y'all know some other traditional foods. The candies. I seen your comments. I did make a post about the different candies in Finland. So been looking at some candies. Maybe I'll go live or something and show y'all the candies that I found. You know, from the store that I got the Swedish candy from. So, but full course meals one day I'll get to try. But that's all I have for this video. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.